Yeah, well, we're getting excited for a big matchup. It's kind of what you play for. It's the reason pretty much everyone on this team came to Miami because they wanted to have the opportunity to play big games, big moments, and compete for championships. And they believed in that vision. And for 2 years in a row now, it's come down to the final two games, and we've had an opportunity that if we won our final two games, that we could claim some type of a championship, and it's sitting there again for us, just like last year. And the way we approach it is, win the first 4 minutes of the game, then win the next 4 minutes of the Duke game, then win the next 4 minutes of the Duke game, and that's very narrow, but it's fun. The backdrop and the emotion to it all, and the pressure, and the scouting reports and the matchups. I mean, it's fun, and it's really a great time to be the head coach at University of Miami, because this is a really good opportunity for us, and we're pretty fired up about it.
Can you talk about what it meant for you guys to share the conference title in the regular season last year, and what it would mean to be able to repeat that, do it again?
Right. The first time is fun and surprising, and you beat people and they go, how did we just lose to Miami? But this year it's a totally different feel. They picked us at the top. I think we've met that pick, at least, of those expectations. No matter what happens, we're one of the top three teams in this conference, no doubt. And then it just comes down to matchups and who you play, when you play them, where the game is played. And last year we had to go on the road in the final game and beat a tough rival for us, which was Georgia Tech. We had to do that if we wanted it. And this year, second to last game, we have to go to Duke to do it. It's never going to be just a cakewalk, when you set yourself up like this. But if you finish, then you win, and if you don't, then you're still, top two. And so there's not a lot of pressure here, but great opportunity.
What did you tell your senior class? Back when you were recruiting, you were coming off some tough years, especially in the conference, and you were able to get Shanice, who's McDonald's All-American, baby. What did you tell them to make them believe that this was actually possible?
I guarantee you, I painted this exact scenario. I did. I just thought, when you say it out loud and you paint it, you just dream. I always say, as a head coach, you have to dream for your kids. You've done it. You've been there. And now you're their eyes for their future. And it's your job to paint a picture for them that they can believe in and buy into. And without question, I'm sure I picked Duke. I'm sure it was like, here you are, by your junior, senior year. We'll be 20 wins. We'll be postseason. We'll be playing at Duke for a championship, at Maryland on national TV. Those are things I dreamt about and shared with them. And, credit to them for really believing in it. But I was very sincere. I thought this was definitely doable. And, we're not done yet.
What was it like for you that year before Bebe and then Momo came in? I think it was 9-21.
Right.
What was it like going through that season? Was it ever discouraging as far as where the program could go?
Sure. It's very discouraging when you put your mind to something and you see it, and it would have been deflating had I not seen it, but I could see it. It just wasn't happening as quickly as I wanted it to, but I never lost the vision. I always thought, this can happen here. It really can happen here. It's going to take a lot. We're going to have to get a couple breaks here and there. But to then, 2 years ago, it felt like we exploded onto the scene, but we didn't. It was that NIT year. We were a very good team that year. We came up short on a lot of ACC games in the last couple of minutes. They went overtime, or we had freshmen and sophomores taking game-winning or game-losing shots, and that's when I felt good. That was my vision year, because I said, that's it. We're right there. And then it was just a matter of hitting shots and making plays towards the end. And to have two of the better playmakers in the country doesn't hurt.
What do the matchups look like for this game? What's going to be key, crucial, important?
They have a very long zone. They're really, really high IQ, and they pass the ball very well. So they can exhaust us defensively. They move the ball, and we try to cover so much court that they're a great passing team, and that's going to take a ton of energy from us to cover their passes. They do a fantastic job, and they point guard to post combos is the best in the conference. Their point guard to post combo, and there's a freshman and a sophomore, but they just happen to be the best point guard to post combo in the conference. So that's tough for us, because that's the middle of the court, and that's where people really, really, we try to get people out of the middle, and they do a very nice job in the middle. So it's going to be a tough one.
Is it still special for you to go back there?
It is, but I just think it's a special place that everyone feels excited about going. It's not because I played there. No, I'm so not that. It's hard to explain. I just had such a focus on Miami and so just buried, buried here. Like I just had so much work to do when I first got here. That severing the tie. I don't go back and say, oh, this is my old home court. I don't have those feelings at all. Appreciate the place and love the people, but Miami's my deal.
Do you have any connection with those people back from when you were in school, Katie?
My assistant coach is still the senior women's administrator there. So Jackie Seiler, she's still there, and but I didn't. Through the Gail Guest era, I still, but no, that's the AD at Duke. Ironically, was my AD at Tulane when I first started, Kevin Wright. So, he's a good man. We've been friends for a while. So, but no, not really.
But the emotions of badly wanting to beat your alma mater has to be a
no,
little weird.
No, it's not. That's the thing. It's like, this is a huge game. This is a huge game in the women's basketball landscape. The last thing I'm thinking about is my own feelings about playing my alma mater. It's like, who cares? Really, that's not the story. The story is two very, very good teams, two top 5, 6 teams in the country are matching up on Friday night in an awesome place to play basketball, which is the Shooter's Gym. I've proved at least that it's a Shooter's Gym. I will give myself credit for that.
Over the course of the last few years, when you've played a bunch of these big games,
yeah,
is there any correlation between your feeling about your team's preparation and what happens in these games? Is there a way for you to, hey, we've practiced well, I'm confident, or
right.
or you don't see that correlation? And
I totally do. I'm a mindset kind of person, and I have a mentality that a road game mentality you have to have going in. And I talk through it. Like I said, we paint pictures for our kids, and we paint scenarios, and we show things that are going to happen, and we just try to give them tools so that we're not surprised, and that we're certain, and we play with certainty. And today in practice, I didn't make one call because take me out of this game, ladies. You might not be able to hear me, so I'm not making one call. I'm not making one adjustment. It's on you. Prepped them beforehand with our game plan and what we think and everything else, but they don't need. This is something where they got to be certain where each other are. They got to feel comfortable with it, and they got to be able to make calls on their own. It's a veteran squad, so if they can't do it by now, I've not done my job as a coach.
Going back real quick to when your seniors first came in,
right?
When you looked at the kind of the hopes or expectations you had for them, what have they done compared to what you had hoped for this group?
As good as I knew they were, that first workout that I got with them, I had pretty big dreams. I knew how good they were in recruiting, but when I finally got my hands on them and got to work with them, I thought they're better than I thought. And that was a big. Let's just say I could get a little cocky then. I was like, okay, this Miami thing is going to work. These 3 kids are special. They're just incredible. And so then I didn't have any doubt after one workout.
What do you think it's going to be like for you on Sunday?
I'll cry like a baby. But I love them, and I mean, I know a lot of everyone we play is really happy that it's senior night as well. I mean, I'll probably get flowers sent from the other ACC coaches, but they should. These kids have revamped the conference and just really twisted it. But what people don't get about me is how much I'll miss them as people. Like, how much time I've spent with them, and just to even think about just my day-to-day. I'm going to be so proud of them. They're going to move on. They're all going to be successful. But, you spend a lot of time with them, and more meetings and just, hey, help me out here, and let's talk about this. And we've solved a ton of problems together. We've gone through a lot together. And, I don't think it'll ever happen again that a class is that important to a coach, as people, than these 3. They just are. And I'll miss them a ton. They're great.
And last thing from Katie, how unlikely when you got Shanice, again, McDonald's All-America from New York, all that, how unlikely at the time was for you to get her? Seeing again that the program was struggling a bit at the time, and this was one of the top kids in the country and all that.
I think the best recruiters listen, and the first time I got an extended conversation with her, like, let's talk about who you are instead of answering all your 20 questions and all that, but an extended personal conversation. I really shut up and listened, and I was like, oh my God, like what she is saying she wants is exactly who we are right now. It was exactly the state of the program. So that was pretty much it. It was unlikely unless you really listened. She didn't want someone to come in and tell her she was wonderful. She didn't want to come in somewhere and say, well, just help me repeat all this stuff. Like, she definitely was curious about being the reason a program just spiked. And that was obvious. I mean, she was very clear about it, and then she wanted a strong person in her life. She wanted the truth. She just wanted the truth. And, you know, we don't have a problem with that in this program, so that helped.
How have they, if I, you know, back then, if I showed you kind of a quick video of them now, would you have believed it?
No.
On and off the court or no?
The transformation, we have a little video montage. I've had my video guy do that. Just the transformation, it's just hilarious. It's just such a sense of pride. And even Sylvia, I mean, she just, golly, I mean, just her face and her smile and the way she carries herself. And they've just grown. They've just really, really grown. And they've been, they've been very important very early. And that's a tough thing to sort of just carry around. To grow in the spotlight. Like a lot of people get to mature a little bit on the bench or with their 5 minutes a game, or they get to make mistakes in practice, but not obvious mistakes that lost ball games or won ball games as freshmen. But these guys did. They were out there. They were competing. And so they matured in front of everybody instead of at their own pace. And so you forget because they were busy producing while they were growing up. But boy, they grew up. They really grew up.
Kind of describe your excitement going up to Duke for this game.
For me, it's not really excitement. I mean, it's just another game. I mean, it's really big, but you can't like lose your head thinking about how big the game is. So for me, it's just another game.
I'd agree. I'd say it's just another game. Of course, it's exciting because it's an opportunity to beat Duke at Duke, and we haven't done that. So that's exciting, and to try to win the ACC conference this year. So that's exciting.
What about just because it's for you guys, it's your last regular season road trip? Does that make it any more meaningful or no?
No, I wouldn't say that because we plan to have plenty more road games.
Right, obviously.
Yeah.
How excited were you guys when you saw that Duke had lost and you really had your fate in your own hands this week?
No comment.
I was very excited. I mean, we slipped up and lost at North Carolina, and came back to hunt us because, I mean, like this game, it didn't have to come to this. I mean, because if we didn't lose at North Carolina.
Another opportunity. That's what we see it as. I mean, I guess some of the fans knew before the end of the game that they had won. I didn't know that. I heard it after the game. I was like, for real? Like, I didn't know. So I thought it was pretty exciting. Yeah.
How do you think you guys have, or what did you learn from that loss early on to Carolina, and how did that kind of motivate you the rest of the way through the conference season?
We learned that, like, everybody come to play every night. Can't sleep on nobody. And it prepared us for everybody. Like, we came after each other much harder in practice. We demand more from each other. And the same thing for the coaches.
Yeah, we definitely learned that we weren't going to let a team that didn't have as much talent as us, as much team unity, beat us, because that shouldn't have happened at all. North Carolina has some great players on their team, but as a unit, I think that we are a stronger team. So.
Baby, when you were recruited, being recruited, Miami had a couple of tough seasons with 2-12 in the conference back to back. Did people think you were crazy to come to Miami, or when you could probably have gone? But both of you probably could have gone a lot of places more established. And what do you remember with people telling you back then?
Everybody was telling me I should have went to Florida State, but I disliked them so much, and I could never see myself playing there.
And they said it because
Miami was closer. They figured Florida State was better across the board, everything, football, soccer, baseball, whatever the case may be. But I didn't see it like that. Like, I wanted to stay close to home, and I wanted to try something new.
Yeah. Versus the other schools that I had visited or had been in contact with, I didn't feel that the coaches were as personable as the coaches here at UM. And I like the large name school, but small class sizes, that was definitely a large factor.
But you both really thought that this was possible. I mean, back then, you knew what the program had struggled, and all these things. It wasn't like you were just, the school was reloading, it was kind of rebuilding from scratch almost, the program.
Yeah.
But you saw this, you guys saw, that this was in the cards?
Yeah, I came on my visit at the same time as Shanice Johnson.
Okay.
And we had just said on our visit, and I know that this isn't the best school that she was recruited by, but when we came here, we were like, we're going to make this program something. And I'd rather go to a program and go from nothing to something than just go to a dynasty, a legacy, So it's exciting to actually be living it out,
And baby.
Yeah, I mean, I came on a visit by myself. Very shy, quiet. Went to the movies and back to the hotel. Didn't really hang out, but everything that Coach was telling me, like, I believed in it. And she said it wasn't going to be easy. And every day was a dogfight. Every day was like tears, and I want to go home. Like, I wasn't expecting this, but like, she always told me, like, how do you eat an elephant? And the answer is one bite at a time. Patience, like, take your time. You don't have to do it all at once.
I think you guys caught a lot of people by surprise last year. How much do you feel this year means to you to have been on the brink again of a ACC championship, with people taking, really looking at you guys as a contender this year?
I think that like I said in other comments, it's exciting, but at the same time, that's what we expect from each other every day in practice. We're not, like, if we have a bad practice, maybe Coach tells us to go back out to the locker room and come back in, because that's not who we are. We need to play Miami basketball. And with Miami basketball, really, the sky's the limit. And I don't think that with Morgan Stroman being gone, of course, we miss her on the court, but I feel that it's made the whole team become stronger, as others have had to realize that we all need to come to play every single day,
And I think that last year, people thought that it was just like a one-hit wonder or something, like it was by mistake, because we didn't have anything to fight for. And like every day we went out and fought until like we realized we was like sharing the title. And this year it's like everybody's aiming at us, so like we showing everybody that like it wasn't just a mistake, like we was for real.
Have you guys pictured what it's going to be like on Sunday? I know you did this game against Duke first, but what do you think it's going to be like playing at home for the last time?
Emotional for me. I'm excited, of course. To play in front of the home crowd one last time on the court. So, yeah.
I feel like it's going to be a really fun game, because, like I said, it's our last home game, so we got to make it fun. We're going to have so much energy. We're going to be so hyped. And yeah, it's going to be emotional because it's our last home game, but there's going to be a lot of energy out there.
Thank you.
Thanks.
Thanks, guys.